During the Great Depression of 2026, both the new government and the public were in a state of despair due to lack of money. That is why the California lottery was organized. If anyone kills the lottery winner before sunset, they will be allowed to claim the legal jackpot prize. The only rule is that no bullets can be used. In Los Angeles in 2030, Sean has just won the lottery and now he must escape from a crowd of people who want to kill him to take his prize. Sean does not hesitate to fight them all, quickly taking down each one before escaping by jumping over a fence. Afterward, Sean breaks into a house through a window and finds an old woman. Immediately, he takes her phone and destroys it. Outside, a drone is monitoring the entire situation. Sean takes a moment to catch his breath, while the old woman pulls out a lottery nail gun to kill him instantly. Then, the elderly woman tore her ticket to summon the lottery team. They broke into the house, smashed the door, and confirmed that the winner was dead. The old woman receives a check for $22 million and appears on TV. A month later, Katie, who just arrived in LA to restart her acting career, keeps glancing at her small Oscar keychain on the bus, as if it were a keepsake. There's a little girl sitting nearby and Katie makes a funny face to make her laugh. However, the girl's father continues to mock his daughter over the phone. Katie moves closer to him and pretends to be a police officer, threatening to take him to Child Protective Services if he doesn't behave properly. The man begins to treat his daughter better. An old woman nearby approaches to thank Katie for her help. However, when the old woman leaves, Katie realizes she has stolen her watch. On a billboard, Katie sees a poster for the Louis Protection Agency and wishes she could have a bodyguard like that. Throughout the trip, she notices that everyone on the streets seems tense or violent, often both. Meanwhile, the media keeps talking about the upcoming lottery draw, which will take place in 18 hours. Ticket sales have reached a new record, and the next jackpot is up to $3.6 billion. At his home, Noel prepares weapons while singing the Ninja Turtle song. Finally, Katie arrives at the room she rented online and immediately notices her new roommate. Shadi had lied about the condition of the place. It was actually very bad. Shadi is also a very annoying person. In Katie's room, there are pictures of Shadi. She often makes awkward jokes and ignores her mother's anxious calls. Shadi also has a very troublesome boyfriend named DJ, who slapped Katie as a joke when he handed her the house key. The next day, Noel appears on TV and offers bodyguard services to anyone who wins the lottery. When Katie wakes up, she is horrified to discover that the upstairs bathroom is leaking through the ceiling and ruining all her clothes. She calls Shadi to complain because she has an audition in a few hours, but Shadi can only help by renting clothes. Katie has no choice but to spend all her savings on a terrible outfit and take a taxi because she is running late. During the ride, the taxi driver constantly makes inappropriate comments. She talks about celebrity rumors, including rapper Machine Gun Kelly, who has his own private bunker. When Katie arrives, an employee charges her $400 to participate. Finally, her audition begins. She explains that she did many TV commercials as a child, but had to pause her career to care for her sick mother. After her mother passed away, Katie decided to give acting another try. She took out the voice memo note from her bag and accidentally discovered Shadi's lottery ticket. When Katie accidentally leaves her fingerprint on the lottery ticket, it activates and takes her photo, officially registering her as a player. Katie quickly hides the ticket and tries to act, but she is immediately rejected and kicked out of the audition. The other actresses try to comfort her, but suddenly, all their lottery tickets activate as well, announcing that Katie has won, even displaying her face. The actresses immediately change their attitude and attack Katie with anything they can reach, though some of them are already holding knives. Even the staff working there join the fight. Katie defended herself thanks to the self-defense classes on her stage. She, dodging a flying shoe aimed at her before running down the stairs, not understanding what was happening. On the next floor, Katie manages to hide in a room while the actresses run past. However, she ends up in a self-defense class, and the people there are also ready to kill her. They continuously call her Jackpot, while attacking. Katie has to run around the room, avoiding attacks or causing them to collide with each other. She tries to ask what's happening, but they ignore everything she says. While some people are fighting, Katie is punched in the face and has her ankle grabbed. He spins her around and throws her through a wall, causing her to land in a yoga class, where even more people are ready to kill her. The self-defense class participants have also broken through, and chaos begins to erupt in the room, blood starting to spill. When a man grabs Katie by the throat, Noel suddenly bursts through the ceiling and saves her by throwing the man into a wall. He then announces that Katie has 5 free saves, but after that, his bodyguard services will charge 10% of her prize. He starts counting the number of people he has taken down and realizes he's out of free saves. Katie has no choice but to sign a contract with him. Now, Noel begins to truly fight everyone, even using Katie as a weapon to kick attackers away. He also straps Katie to his back to protect her, using a belt as a whip to attack from a distance. When all the opponents are taken down, Katie frees herself and grabs Noel's stun gun. After easily retrieving the gun, Noel makes sure to position the unconscious bodies correctly so they don't suffocate. He explains that the lottery drone, which is outside, will update the winner's location every 14 minutes, so they must leave the building quickly. Noel points out that the rules don't allow players to kill each other. The group at the food counter quickly throws knives at Katie, and Noel helps her avoid them. Then, they get into Noel's car to escape. As they drive through the city, people around them receive notifications about Katie's location and prepare to join the fight. An ice cream truck leaves the children behind, and even the old woman from the bus now has a lottery nail gun. Noel continues to explain the lottery system to Katie and is surprised that she doesn't know about it. Katie explains that she and her mother only watched movies and cooking shows, but never the news because it was too depressing. Soon after, their car is chased by people on bikes and ATVs. Noel grabs helmets for both of them before accelerating. A Molotov cocktail is thrown onto the roof of the car, and the roof catches fire, but Noel keeps driving and crashes into an old warehouse. As the wind blows out the flames on the car, Noel suddenly swerves the car and a racer crashes into their vehicle. However, he has to keep driving through the warehouse to avoid the remaining racers, who start setting fires again. Katie wants to give up, but the only way to do so is to leave the city. Noel shoots a man with the stun gun to take him down. Then, he drives around in circles to create some distance as other enemies throw all kinds of items at them. This creates a lot of dust, allowing both of them to escape quietly. The group of racers doesn't realize until the next Molotov cocktail falls to the ground. Katie continues to insist on giving up, so Noel agrees to take her to the nearest GameStop point. However, at that moment, the racers spot them, and the chase continues. An enemy jumps into the car through the rear window and Katie grabs her knife while Noel pulls out the stun gun. However, the woman bites Noel's arm. Noel grabs the mirror in the car and hits the woman with it, then tells Katie to drive, despite her constantly saying that she can't. Noel moves to the back seat to continue fighting, putting an extra helmet on his opponent before kicking her out of the car. The racers throw another Molotov cocktail at their car, and Noel forces Katie to drive through a wall to escape. They stop at another car, and a racer crashes into their vehicle while trying to dodge. Katie knocks another racer out with her helmet. Both tried to keep leaving, but the car could barely move due to all the damage that had been caused. Katie gets out of the car and tries to run, but Noel stops her. He explains that he won't get paid if she quits. But he still wants to help her because he believes they should treat others the way they want to be treated. Suddenly, Katie throws sand in Noel's face and successfully punches him. Noel has to pop his nose back into place. At that moment, a police car appears, and Katie runs to ask for help from the officers. However, the police officers also want to kill her. Noel quickly blocks their tasers and begins fighting the officers while Katie runs away. On the street, Katie hides her face behind a map, while the crowd notices the drone flying nearby and starts searching for her. She enters a wax museum, and is surprised to hear the security guard say that he opposes the lottery, so he lets her hide among the statues. Then, Katie calls Shadi and asks to borrow her car. Shadi keeps asking Katie where she is, making Katie realize that Shadi is also part of the lottery game. At this point, a statue greets Katie at the museum, revealing her location. Shadi and DJ try to enter the museum, but the security guard reminds them that they are banned for doing something inappropriate with a statue. Shadi punches the guard to take him down, and they both rush inside. Katie hears them and hides behind a statue. However, when she tries to sneak out, she is spotted, and DJ immediately pushes her onto a table. Katie throws a bottle at Shadi's head and continues throwing sand in DJ's face to escape. The duo, Shadi and DJ, coordinate their attack on Katie, while she defends herself with the statue's staff. When she gets the chance, she tries to run, but Shadi kicks her back, causing Katie to lose the staff. In the next room, Shadi and DJ start beating Katie with pieces of the staff. Katie retaliates by throwing statues at them, thinking they are famous statues, but they are actually statues of the Kardashian family. The fight continues in the horror room, where they use any available props to attack. After several struggles with movie costumes and weapons, Katie runs outside, but Shadi throws an axe at her. The axe hits its target, but since it's a fake one, it doesn't cause any harm. Katie presses a button to lower the rolling door, but she remembers what Noel taught her. She adjusts the body of the security guard so he won't suffocate. Then rolls out of the museum just before the door closes, leaving Shadi and DJ trapped inside. A tour guide immediately spots her and announces her location through a microphone. Before the attackers can get close, Noel appears in a police car and takes her away. Katie still doesn't trust him, because helping her quit would mean Noel doesn't get paid, so she thinks he might kill her privately. As the bus keeps ramming the back of their car, Noel wishes they had a shelter. Katie recalls the taxi driver and quickly realizes they are heading to Machine Gun Kelly's house. Kelly thinks Katie wants something inappropriate when she asks him for help. Just then, the bus appears, so Katie grabs Noel's stun gun and forces Kelly to open the shelter door. Katie and Noel rush inside and use the stun gun to knock Kelly unconscious. They try to close the door, but the crowd gathers in the living room, and an arm tries to hold the door open. Noel prepares to shoot the arm, thinking it's trying to kill her, but Katie quickly grabs the gun and shoots a stun bullet into the arm, forcing it to retreat. Finally, she safely shuts the door. The shelter is fully equipped, and they can observe the crowd through security cameras. Katie, exhausted, still keeps the gun aimed at Noel, so he sits next to her and shares candy, along with stories about himself to prove he's a good person. Suddenly, Katie's keychain falls out of her pocket, and when Noel says it looks cool, Katie opens up and shares. She says she chose to become an actress because of her mother, who loved movies and famous stars. Her mother knew Hollywood could be very harsh, so she gave Katie the keychain to remind her that she would always be proud of her, no matter what happened. When she was young, Katie earned a lot of money from acting, but her father left with all of it. Noel sympathizes and comforts her, so Katie decides to give the gun back to him. She wants to know why Noel helped her quit, and he explains his priorities. The first is to save lives, and the second is to earn enough money to continue saving lives. Outside, the crowd continues banging on the door with no success. Shadi slaps Kelly to wake him up. When he still doesn't respond, she decides to drag him into the pool and threaten him to share the door's password. The password is meme 6969. All of this is seen by Katie and Noel. Noel becomes angry, realizing there are no other options, and is forced to make a phone call and ask for a favor. He requests a phone attack, and quickly places Katie's phone in a safe. Then, both of them try to hold the door. Shadi enters the password, but the crowd suddenly stops when they hear all their phones go off with Amber Alert notifications. However, this is just a trap, and soon their phones begin to explode, burning parts of the bodies of the participants. As people struggle with their burns, Katie and Noel escape to flee. However, Noel stops to put out a fire on someone. Outside, a group of guards is waiting with damage-resistant vehicles and rubber bullet guns. They only want to capture Katie, but she forces them to take Noel with her. Throughout the journey, Katie asks Noel if he works with these people. Noel explains that he used to work with them, but now he's a freelancer. A while later, they arrive at headquarters and Katie meets Louis, the founder of the security company. However, she's not impressed by him as he continuously mocks Noel. She asks to be taken out of the city, but Louis gives her a new phone and says she's in the safest building in the country. He also boasts about the grenades in his bag. With only 4 hours left in the game, Louis gives them a tour and shows them the wall with all the people who have been saved. Although their names are anonymous, the company has been lacking customers for a long time. Louis explains that they take a 30% service fee, and Katie signs the contract after Noel gets a portion of the money. Then, they see on the security cameras that a crowd is gathering outside. So Louis decides it would be safer to move Katie to a secret underground fortress using deceptive means. First, both of them receive medical care for their injuries, and Noel continues to share more about himself. He used to be a mercenary in the private sector with Louis, and their team was sent around the world to eliminate bad people. One day, Noel discovered that the victims he was targeting weren't always the bad guys, and he quit a mission halfway through. This caused the mission to fail, and only Noel and Louis survived. Nowadays, the money Noel earns is sent to the families of his victims and former teammates. In return, Katie shares that her father used to be her manager and made her work all day since she was 8 years old. When she turned 18, she told him that she wanted to manage her own finances, and shortly after, he disappeared with all her money. Katie had to take care of her sick mother, and her mother passed away a month ago, leaving her with only $600 and a bus ticket to LA. At that moment, an employee brings in a prosthetics molding machine. Katie places her face into the machine, and it applies a mask onto her, transforming her into an elderly man. However, Noel starts to worry because moving Katie without a clear reason doesn't make sense. The facility is too expensive to maintain with only 30% of the old rewards, especially since they haven't had customers recently. Katie changes into a disguise to complete her new look. Noel finally realizes that Louis is only pretending to protect the winners, but in reality, he's secretly planning to kill them. Louis leads them to the car, and Katie continues to insist that Noel go with her, but Louis refuses, making Katie more desperate. She kicks Louis hard in the stomach, and Noel takes advantage of the distraction to open the garage door. Then he shoots all the guards with tranquilizer darts. When the crowd rushes in, they don't recognize Katie and ignore her. Noel pulls her outside and hands her the key card he stole from a guard, telling her to run while he distracts them. Immediately, several other guards appear and overpower Noel, while Louis kicks him to force him to reveal information. Suddenly, all the fake cars automatically started, with Katie hiding in one of the cars. Louis immediately orders his men to chase after Katie into the city. Katie removes the mask and drives the car, triggering Louis' system alarm. Meanwhile, social media starts to explode as the drone cannot locate Katie. If she makes no mistakes, she will be safe from the pursuers until the time runs out. This makes Katie a hero in the eyes of the fans. A little while later, as Katie prepares to leave the city, she receives a call from Noel, asking her to come back or he will be killed. In fact, Louis continues to stab him, but Noel still tells Katie to save herself. After a moment of hesitation, Katie turns the car around and agrees to meet. Meanwhile, Louis takes Noel to an old theater and reveals that during his days as a mercenary, he always knew they were killing innocent people. But he didn't mind because it was an easy job and made money. Louis admits that he doesn't like to share, and that's why he killed their team, making it look like Noel's fault. With only 15 minutes left, Katie finds a nail gun in the car's compartment and rushes into the theater, where she finds Louis and Noel on stage. She threatens to end it all so no one will get the prize money, but Louis doesn't believe her. Katie points out that he will kill her anyway, and then reveals that she is recording this conversation to share on social media. She asserts that Louis can't erase his fingerprints on the gun and says that he killed her. Katie starts criticizing her miserable life and almost pulls the trigger. However, in the end, Louis dropped the handcuff key and gave it to her, offering a deal. Katie pretends she is about to give the gun to Louis, but instead of doing so, she kicks him off the stage, confirming she was acting. With Louis down, the other players immediately rush in to attack Katie. Once again, everyone she has met today appears in the theater and blocks all exits. Katie has no choice but to use whatever she can grab to stop them. Suddenly, Louis grabs her leg and makes her fall, then tries to kill her. A police officer tries to help, but Louis kicks him away and continues struggling with Katie. At that moment, a crowd rushes in, and Noel starts fighting them, still handcuffed to the chair, hitting and singing the Ninja Turtle song. The chair soon breaks, giving Noel more freedom to move. Katie bites Louis and disarms him, then throws the keys to Noel, helping him escape. As Noel fights Louis, Shetty appears with a katana sword to attack Katie, but she quickly disarms him and knocks Shetty out with a headbutt. With only 4 minutes left, a massive crowd suddenly floods into the theater. Noel is still fighting with Louis, so Katie has to climb onto the stage decorations to find shelter. Louis grabs an axe from another player, and Noel uses symbols to defend himself, which finally helps him defeat his old friend. The woman on the bus tries to climb up after Katie, but Katie kicks her down. Then, Noel starts destroying the decorations to prevent anyone from catching up with Katie. Louis and his henchmen arrive, and half of them form a human ladder for Louis to climb, while the rest charge at Noel. Louis eventually reaches where Katie is on the scaffolding, and they start fighting until Katie loses her footing. She hangs precariously from the edge of the scaffolding and reveals that she used the keychain to trigger one of Louis' grenades. The grenade explodes, Louis dies, and Katie falls. However, Katie's fans appear with a large flag and catch her just in time as the countdown hits 0. Katie hugs Noel and promises to pay him 50%. People from the lottery organization arrive to hand her a check, and she declares that she no longer wants to be an actress. 6 months later, Katie and Noel work together on several charitable projects. As a free protection agency, a self-defense school in stage fighting, and a center for children with bad parents. Noel tries to open a Ninja Turtles-themed pizza restaurant but gets sued for copyright infringement. The couple also goes on vacation on their own luxury yacht. Make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications to watch more videos like this. Thank you for watching.